If people have called you too sensitive your entire life, there's a reason. And no, it's not weakness. It's exposure. Pause for a moment and really hear that. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand why your nervous system was never broken, it was simply left unprotected. At some point, someone decided who you were. Too emotional. Too intense. Too reactive. Maybe it wasn't said with cruelty. Maybe it came wrapped as advice. But over time, that label stuck. And once it did, every feeling you had became suspicious, even to you. If something hurt, you questioned yourself. If something felt off, you minimized it. If you felt overwhelmed, you assumed you were exaggerating. But here's the truth most people never hear. You were never too sensitive. You were sensing without protection. Sensitivity is not about being easily hurt. It's about how deeply and how fast your nervous system processes information. You notice things others miss. Subtle shifts in tone. Pauses that linger too long. Energy changes no one else seems to register. That's not imagination. That's perception at a higher resolution. But perception without boundaries becomes overload. And this is where everything starts to break down. Sensitivity without protection doesn't disappear. It overworks. In environments with emotional support, sensitivity becomes insight. Creativity. Emotional intelligence. Clarity. But in environments without emotional buffering, where no one helps you translate what you feel, sensitivity is left exposed. No one slows things down. No one names what's happening. No one shows you where you end and others begin. So you adapt. You learn to absorb more than you should. You learn to read the room before speaking. You learn to regulate everyone, except yourself. This is why sensitive people aren't fragile. They're exhausted. Because sensitivity without protection doesn't shut down. It scans. Constantly. Your nervous system stays alert, not because you're anxious, but because it learned that missing emotional signals was dangerous. So it monitors tone, mood, micro-expressions, unspoken tension. From the outside, this gets labeled as overthinking or anxiety. But on the inside, it feels like responsibility. As if staying alert is the price of safety. This is where the lie begins. You were told, don't take it personally. You're overthinking. Just let it go. And slowly, something shifted. You didn't stop feeling. You started doubting your perception. You began asking yourself, is this real, or am I wrong again? This is what emotional invalidation actually does. It doesn't silence sensitivity. It destabilizes self-trust. You still feel deeply, but now you hesitate. You delay. You explain yourself too much. You soften your reactions so others stay comfortable. And over time, adaptation becomes identity. You didn't choose to be the understanding one. You became that person to survive. Your sensitivity turned into responsibility. Your empathy turned into self-erasure. You became the listener. The emotional stabilizer. The one who holds everything together. And one day, you wake up tired, without knowing why. Here's the shift that changes everything. You were never overwhelmed because you felt too deeply. You were overwhelmed because you felt alone with what you felt. Read that again. This is what happens when sensitivity grows without protection. It doesn't disappear. It reorganizes into hypervigilance. Your body stays braced. Even in calm moments. Even when nothing is wrong. And after a while, this tension feels normal. You start thinking, this is just who I am. But it's not who you are. It's what you learned. In environments where emotions were dismissed, rushed, or unpredictable, sensitivity had to work overtime. It had to anticipate outcomes. Prevent emotional ruptures. Maintain harmony at any cost. You were praised for being mature. Emotionally intelligent. Strong. But praise without protection is still extraction. Eventually, this creates a quiet fear. Who am I if I stop doing this? If I stop monitoring everything, will I become careless? If I stop adjusting, will I lose connection? Healing doesn't mean becoming less sensitive. It means becoming protected. Protection means you stop absorbing what isn't yours. You stop explaining your feelings to earn permission. You stop managing emotions that aren't your responsibility. Boundaries don't make you colder. They make you clear. When sensitivity is protected, something unexpected happens. You feel less, but understand more. You react less, but see clearer. Sensitivity without protection overworks. Protected sensitivity becomes discernment. You begin to notice alignment instead of threat. Respect instead of tension. Safety instead of anticipation. And people who only valued your usefulness start fading. That's not loss. That's alignment. Your sensitivity was never the flaw in the story. What hurt was not feeling deeply. What hurt was feeling deeply without protection. If this video put words to something you felt for years, you're not alone. Write in the comments, what boundary do you need to build next? And if this perspective resonates, subscribing keeps you connected to conversations like this. Your nervous system was never broken. It just needed structure. I'll see you in the next video.